Welcome to Compassionate Corner, where we create a safe space to discuss all things related to cancer, its treatment, and the journey of those who thrive after facing this challenge. Today, I am thrilled to introduce our guest, Kathy Peria, the Senior Development Manager for Make-A-Wish Foundation in Orange County and Inland Empire. I've had the pleasure of working alongside Kathy in the past, and I've witnessed firsthand the incredible impact she and her team have made in granting wishes for children battling cancer. Kathy's passion for this cause is truly inspiring, and I'm excited to delve into her background, her journey with Make-A-Wish Foundation, and the magic that unfolds when wishes come true. Welcome to our program, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today. It's wonderful to be here.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. Can you tell us a little about your background, what led you to work with Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Absolutely. So I've been in the nonprofit industry for about 25 years. I started with the American Heart Association. I was with them for 12 years and I worked with the kids in the schools. So we did the Jump Rope for Heart program and raised money for research. After that, I went to work with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And I was there for 5 years. And that's where I first experienced a lot of kiddos that had their wishes granted. They'd come in and they'd talk about how exciting it was and how wonderful it was. And then something named COVID happened and we all went home. And I thought to myself, you know what, if I'm going to keep my eyes open because Make-A-Wish is a dream. I mean, it just seems like a wonderful place to be. So I kept my eye on openings here, and the senior development manager position opened up and I jumped at the chance to work with this fantastic
What
team.
better person to do it than you? Because
Right.
you're very sociable, compassionate, and you're the whole package. So I'm
Well,
very
thank
glad
you.
that you were there. Honestly, I mean it. What does your role as Senior Development Manager involve?
So my role, so Make-A-Wish has two different sides of the house. I mean, we're all in the same office, but we're on the development side where we are the ones that are raising the money in order to grant the wishes. So my job is working with individual donors, working with corporations. Um, I do all the grants. I write all the grants for Make-A-Wish, Orange County, and the Inland Empire. And then, of course, when our events come, it's all hands on deck. So everybody's involved with, organizing the events that we have here.
Exactly. It sounds, Make-A-Wish is a massive foundation. How large is the Orange County Inland Empire office?
Make-A-Wish is a large organization. I think one of the misconceptions that people think in normal nonprofit organizations, they have a home office like a Make-A-Wish America, which we do have. But each chapter, so there's 57 individual chapters, and we are own 501c3. We have our own board of directors and our own president and CEO. So we belong to Make-A-Wish. We pay dues to Make-A-Wish America, and they support us with many of their programs and trainings and corporations, and even like with celebrity wishes and that kind of thing. But our chapter is specific to Orange County, San Bernardino County, and Riverside County. So any money that is raised here to our chapter stays in this area.
Very good. Can you tell us about Make-A-Wish? What do they do in case for individuals who are not aware of what they do and all the fantastic things that they
Sure.
do for
Absolutely. It's
families?
one of my favorite things to talk about. So, Make-A-Wish grants wishes to kiddos that are battling critical illnesses between the ages of 2.5 and 18 that live in Orange County, San Bernardino, and Riverside. Um, they're referred to us usually through a social worker at the hospital or a family member, and then they go through the wish process. We have 5 different types of wishes that kids can wish for. We have to go, which is the most popular. Somebody wants to go somewhere. A lot of Disneyland, Disney World, Disney Alani. Disney is one of our biggest partners. Then there is to meet. So you can meet a celebrity, a sports figure, a singer, your favorite person. And then we have to have, which is, tangible things like computers, puppies, gaming systems, backyard play sets. My favorite, which is to be, where a kid wants to be a chef, they want to be a scientist. We have one kid that wants to be a dinosaur, right? And so we make that happen.
How?
Well, he was a dinosaur costume was made for him, and a big egg that he was able to burst out of. And then he ran around the city causing havoc, and we had someone going with a camera like it was a news story, and he was going in and out of shops and just being wild and fun, and he just had a blast. Um, and then, believe it or not, our fifth category is to give, and some children choose to give as their wish. So we had a young man that decided to give new games and technology to Chuck Hospital because when he was going through treatment there, he's like he thought that they could do better, as far as what the things that they had. During COVID, we had a little girl that wanted to give and do a huge food drive for the homeless and that kind of thing. So we do have some kids that do choose to give, but
That's fantastic. I
yeah,
know that that's an area that is needed because every year we do different drives for different hospitals, and we are always told by Chalk, by all the children hospitals, that there's a lot of gifts that come in for younger kids, but there's seldom anything for older kids, and so we always support them with gift cards and things so they can purchase what they really want.
absolutely.
Yeah, because it's always, they're geared for smaller children and not the older ones. And of course, there's all ages there. So,
Well, it's
absolutely.
interesting because, especially during the holidays, people like to do toy drives and that kind of thing for us. And we call it the toy closet. It's a big room that we have all kinds of games and backpacks and that kind of thing for kids. When we go to a child's home, we always bring kind of like an icebreaker gift. And we have them sorted by like ages and boys and girls and that kind of thing. But we'll not only bring for the kid, if they have siblings, we bring gifts for the siblings as well. And some of them are older, so we have a mix of that. So we have skateboards and that kind of thing for some of the older kids. But gift cards, like you're saying, is wonderful for them because
Yeah. They love
they
it
like
because they can purchase whatever they want. And
whatever they want.
yeah, exactly. It makes it nice. Do you have any heartwarming stories to share with us of, grants, wishes that were granted?
Where do I start? Well, I'll give you a few. There is a little girl named Liberty who lives out in La Quinta, and Liberty has a form of epilepsy. And so she cannot go to a normal like playground and play on the swings and that kind of thing. So when she was granted her wish, she wanted an adaptable swing. And instead of putting it in her backyard so she could just use it, she put it in the local park so that other kids with disabilities would be able to use it as well. Then it sparked kind of a thing where some of the superintendents and some of the supervisors of La Quinta installed them in other parks as well. So her gift was her wish was to have an adaptable swing, but it was also sort of to give wish as well because, she's also sharing with other kids that have handicaps and that kind of thing too.
Working in charity, I'm sure you know that a lot of times you start something and it develops into something else, and it's something else comes out of it, and it at
Right.
the end it's such a beautiful thing. So I completely realize that with a lot of the hospitals that we partner with, when they give to the kids, holiday gifts, a lot of the families say we can't accept it because there are two other kids at home, and we don't want to have one of them go home with a massive gift. So
Right.
they try to, we try to provide the gifts or whatever the case might be, if it's like a beginning of the school year supplies or whatnot
Right.
to
I
all
mean,
the
that's
kids.
huge.
Yeah.
Kids need that.
Yeah. And so,
Another story that I could think of is it's a family and their names are the Grimsteads, and their son Jacob was 14 and a freshman in high school, and he was running on the track team and that kind of thing, and he felt a lump in his neck and ended up having stage 4 lymphoma, which they aggressively attacked while because he was in the hospital, he's not able to see his friends, he's not able to really see his family or go to school. So he got involved with this game called Roblox, where I guess you build communities and that kind of thing. It's some kind of a
It's
video
an
game,
online game?
online video game, but he could chat with other kids that were playing this game as well. So when it came time to, ask for a wish, he wanted to go to San Francisco and meet the makers of Roblox. So one of the things that touches my heart so much about this story is not his wish to go and meet the Roblox people, but I talked to his mom, and she said that when he found out that he was going to have his wish granted, he was so excited, and that it not only gave him more, wanting to comply with treatment and get through it all, but it gave them something else to talk about other than the obvious, and it gave them something to plan for the future and something to look forward to as soon as you're finished. So it gave him the hope and the motivation to continue with treatment, because as soon as it was done, we sent the entire family to San Francisco, and the Roblox people thought this was fantastic because the kid could wish for anything he wants, right?
Yeah.
And he wishes to meet them. So they
They're
rolled out the
so
red
honored and they love
carpet, and
it. Yeah.
I mean, they were very excited and very honored that that was, what he wanted for his wish. He had lunch with the CEO. They made a character for him, like, and named it after him in their video game. So, plus they got to see San Francisco and spend some family time together. I mean, we send the whole family at no cost, regardless as to how many there are, siblings and parents or guardians. But yeah, I mean,
How do you decide which wishes to grant? And there common themes that you've noticed over the years?
so how it works is somebody refers a child to us. They have to be, like I said, between 2.5 and 18 and battling a critical illness. One of the other misconceptions about Make-A-Wish is that it's for terminally ill kids, which when we first started in 1980, Chris, who had leukemia, wanted to be a police officer. And the community got together and made that happen for him right before he passed away. But that sparked the generosity, and people got excited, and they're like, we can do this again, and we can do this again. So that's how Make a Wish kind of started. But now, with all the research, kids are about 70% of our kids live into adulthood now, which is great. But in order to be eligible, they have to have a critical illness, and then they're referred to us. Once they're referred to us, then we have somebody that works here that gets a hold of the hospital, talks to the doctors, making sure that, this is the correct diagnosis. We get a hold of the families to make sure that, they're aware that Make-A-Wish is going to be involved. And then we have wonderful, wonderful volunteers that are wish granters. And they are the ones that go to the homes or meeting place. And they have they're trained to ask specific questions for the child. And it's geared toward trying to find out what that child's actual true wish is, right? So if a 3-year-old says they want to go to Milan, you're like, you know,
No, the parents
maybe you
want to
wanna
go
be a
to Milan.
dinosaur, I don't know. But, so, once we figure out what their wish process is, then it goes through, we'd like to get everything done within a year from the time that they're referred to us to wish granted. Sometimes that doesn't always happen due to health purposes, but, yeah, I mean, we don't discriminate. We don't, we'll take everybody from Riverside, San Bernardino, and Orange County that, are, between those ages and with a critical illness. And their wishes, sometimes, we can do them right away, like shopping sprees are easy. Sometimes someone wants to go to the Super Bowl. That's gonna be a little bit of a longer wait because it's once a year, But, yeah, and then we grant the wish, and then we work with the families, and, some families wanna stay involved with us afterwards and be speakers at events and that kinda thing, and some say, "Thank you so much, and we appreciate all that you've done for us, and they're healthy now, and we just wanna move on." So,
Yeah.
it's all different
It
kinds.
depends, exactly.
Mhm.
You mentioned during COVID you made the move. What was the situation at that time? There must have been, a lot of challenges at the time with,
So
granting wishes.
yeah, COVID did a number on granting wishes for a few reasons. One, there's no travel. Two, there's no sporting events or concerts or anything like that. And three, they closed Disneyland. Right? So we gave the kids that were in our, on our pipeline waiting for their wishes an opportunity to say, "Hey, you know what? If you want to, because we don't know how long this is gonna last, if you'd like to, we can reimagine your wish." We gave them the opportunity to reimagine their wish if they wanted to, so we did a lot of, tangible things, computers, shopping sprees, puppies, gaming systems, that kind of thing, but some children really wanted to wait for, their travel wish or Disney wish, that kind of a thing, so we ended up, with a pipeline that kept getting bigger because we still get
You
a
couldn't
new
do anything.
about
Yeah,
35 new referrals every month, so when everything started to open up again, we started granting wishes, as soon as we could, but the struggle there is funding, so that's one
exactly.
of
I
the
was
things.
just going to ask you, with
Mm.
35 new cases per month, you probably have a huge budget.
Yeah, we do. It's this year our budget was 3.88 million. Our fiscal year runs September through August.
I
So
see.
we
Closing
are
the fiscal
we are
year.
getting
Yeah.
close, and we are almost there. We are almost there. We've had very generous people this year. We had somebody leave us some money in his will as well, and so that kind of helped with getting to that number. But as we all know, numbers grow each year. So next year is going to be. I mean, for me, it is what it is. I continue to do what I do every day. Asking, writing grants. I write a ton of grants.
No, that's true because the cost of living is going up too.
Oh,
So
sure.
obviously your expenses will be
I
more
mean, the
and
average
the
cost
cost
of
of
a
living.
wish is $10,000. So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's, I guess that's true. How can individuals or businesses in the community get involved with Make-A-Wish and support its mission?
So individuals can do a number of different things. We love when they come in and they volunteer. We have a couple different ways that you can volunteer. You can, come into the office, and we have thankathons where they can call donors and say thank you. A lot of times when you call somebody, or when you answer the phone and they say, "Hi, I'm from Make a Wish," they think, "What do you want?" You know, but this is just a thank you. We're just calling to say thank you. We're calling to appreciate. We have others that'll come in and just do some office work around here, help us with, computer input, that kind of thing. Then we have our wish granters that, go out to the community and work with the kiddos. Individuals can also hold third-party events if they want to. Same with businesses. If you wanted to do a golf tournament or, um, those kinds of things and donate the proceeds to Make a Wish. Companies can get involved by adopting wishes, like, we're so appreciative of that. Companies can also purchase a table at one of our events or support us by coming to our events. They can also support us with in-kind donations for silent auctions, live auctions, that kind of thing too. There's some companies that do matching gifts. So if you make a donation as an individual and then you fill out a form for your company, the company will match that. So lots of different ways to
To
get
get
involved with
involved.
us.
Um, Joe, you mentioned ways of getting involved. There is a pickleball tournament that
It
is on
is.
August 2nd. It is at the Newport Beach Tennis Club, and ISCC will be there as well.
Yep.
And so if anyone's interested in being, I don't think there's any space left to be a player. Is it still open
It's
to?
still no, it's still open, and you can go
Okay.
on to it's wish.org/OCIE, and it's you can go under our events, and it will pull up the pickleball event, and it'll tell you how many spots are still available. It's filling up fast, but there's a few left. There's also spectator tickets if people just want to come and
And
watch and
just watch
enjoy the
and
show.
support.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great community event. I
yes,
think it's wonderful. Yes, we will be there as well.
looking
Um,
forward to seeing you there.
Thank you. We had someone recently, actually in January, she passed away, and the family, in lieu of flowers, they decided to make donations to ISCC because ISCC was her charity of choice. And the family, this lady, she passed away from cancer, and she had been involved with the organization for many, many years here and overseas. The family decided, because she loved traveling, they wanted to for us to sponsor wishes through Make a Wish, and we have sponsored two
Yes, you
wishes,
have.
and both of them for travel. So we're excited for that. This is annually
Absolutely.
we sponsor children, but this year it was children that wanted to travel. So we're excited for that.
Absolutely, and we're so appreciative, and we will be presenting plaques to you at the pickleball tournament, taking some pictures that we can post on social media to just recognize your generosity and all that you do to help us make wishes come
Pleasure, our
true. So
pleasure. What we do, all the charities, I think we are just one tree and with different branches, and we're all doing the same thing for the community and for the good of the society. So we're
right.
all working together, and I'm very
Well, and
grateful.
when you see that smile on that kid's face, there's nothing like that, you know.
Exactly.
We
And
had a young
it's so
girl
true.
the other day that it was about 2 weeks ago. Her name was Fong, and Fong is has leukemia, and she's going through treatment right now. And Fong wants to learn how to play the violin. That was her wish. She wants to learn how to play. So I had a contact over at Segerstrom Center that I connected our wish team with, and that they connected them with the Pacific Symphony. And this
Wow. She must
this
have
woman,
loved it.
oh, this woman came to our office, and Fung is in a wheelchair right now because her treatments are causing some problems with momentum and movement. That's why the violin's going to be so good for her to work those muscles. But this lady works and plays for the Pacific Symphony. She came to our office. She surprised Fong, her dad, and her friend. She played beautifully. She played When You Wish Upon a Star from, it was gorgeous. I mean, hairs on your arms. But she's going to give Fong 40 personal violin lessons. Yes. So I'm excited
That's a wonderful,
to
yeah.
see how that goes. But
Yeah.
when you see that happen, it's like nothing. Nothing
It's
touches
magic.
it.
A lot of people may say, well, all of this money can go towards treatment or whatnot, but to see the smile and to bring normalcy to children that are going through this I think it's irreplaceable and it's invaluable.
Well, and I think it's part of the treatment, if you think about it. I mean, because the mental state of a child when they're going through, like, the worst time of their life. I mean, imagine you're the 7-year-old little Timmy, and you're going to the hospital all the time and going through procedures all the time, and you can say, "You know what, buddy? I know this is terrible right now. This is awful, but when you're finished with this, your wish is gonna be granted," and it does give them that energy to fight through the hard days, to comply with the treatment, and just to be more hopeful for the
Exactly.
future. So
Yeah, it gives them a sense of, they're kids and they want to have a dream and something to
right.
look forward to.
I just want a normal childhood, you know?
Do you always wait for the treatment to be concluded before you grant the wishes, or it can be done
It's up
anytime?
to the doctor, if the doctor has to sign off on whatever the wish is. So, like, not if we're doing, like, a shopping spree or a computer or something like that, not necessarily. Travel's a little more tricky. Can they travel? Do they have, medical devices and stuff that they have to go with them? There's a lot of planning that goes into it. I told one of the girls I was listening to her talk to a family the other day, and this kid's going, I think, to Disney World in Florida, but he has a lot of medical equipment. So I said, you are like a travel agent, but you're also having to plan. I mean, so much stuff goes into something like that that you don't really think about, because when you travel, or when I travel, I just grab a suitcase and get on an airplane. It's different for some of these kids, but we can usually grant them while they're still going through treatment, unless it's something that the doctor doesn't think is okay yet.
I think
Especially if they
it's
can't
so
be around other
valuable.
people.
What you do is also very valuable for the families. It
Mhm.
just makes such a big difference for them because they are the backbone of what's happening and they're helping. And so it also gives them something to look forward to.
Well,
So,
absolutely, and it's super stressful on a family. I'll just give you a little personal story. My cousin, when we were kids, they lived in North Dakota. That's the Norwegians. one of my little cousins passed away from cancer, when she was a kid. And my other cousin came out and he was staying with us for a little while, and he's like, "Oh, you work for Make-A-Wish now?" I said, "Yes." He said, Make-A-Wish sent my entire family to Florida to Walt Disney World before my sister passed away, and it was the best memory of my entire life. They were all together, they were all having a good time, all the stress was gone. They had, just a blast, and he said that was one of the best memories of his entire childhood. So it's also for the family, for the siblings too.
Exactly. I'm sure you can tell us memorable events for days to come, and that's fantastic. Do you get involved with all of the wishes that are granted each month, or uh,
Not typically, because we are, oh, well, it's different. So some families don't want anyone else involved. So in order for us to be involved, they would have to be PR eligible. Some families don't want to do that. Some families just want to do their thing and then do their thing. Rush wishes, we aren't really a part of from the development side, because that's exactly what it sounds like. It's
oh, it's just a
a
quick
rush
one?
wish. Yeah, it's we got to get that done now, kind of a thing. Yeah. And then a lot of the wishes, like we see more of the wish like reveals, like, hey, your wish is going to be granted, than the actual wish, because we're not going to fly to Alaska with them. But yeah, we see a lot of the wish reveals. We had one about a week ago. This kid named Evan wants to meet Jack Black, the actor. And he came in with his mom and four other siblings, or three others, a big family. And he was so excited. He had leukemia as well, going through treatment, but he's completed now and he's in remission. But he was all over the place in here last week. All of us came out because we're like, what is going on? Because, you know, it's, our environment's not real chaotic here because we don't
Exactly.
usually
It's very
have a lot of
calm.
kids. But he was
Exactly.
so excited and he was just telling us all kinds of stories and all his favorite Jack Black movies. And yeah,
That's so
he was
nice.
great.
I'm sure, entertainers, sports athletes, they also love doing this because it's very heartwarming for them to be able to make a difference.
Yeah, and it's interesting is that, where we are, we're in Southern California, and we have a lot of
It's
celebrities and
accessible, yeah.
sports and stuff around here,
Yeah.
but celebrity wishes are handled through Make-A-Wish America. And they do that because they only want their agents working with like one person and not a bunch of different chapters calling. So, but yeah, we have very generous celebrities. We had one kid that wanted to meet Shania Twain. He got on the plane, got to the airport, walked out of the airport, and Tim McGraw was in a truck waiting to pick him up personally. I mean, and they had him over for dinner at their house, and they just did it right. And I remember being at a Katy Perry concert one time when a little girl came up and she was probably 6 or 7, and you could tell she loved Katy Perry. She was completely bald and in this cute little dress, and Katy sang just specifically to her. I mean, yeah. So we have a lot of really wonderful, the Angels do a lot for us. A lot of kids want to meet Mike Trout, and so we have a lot of really good supporters in that
That's
regard. So,
fantastic. Usually who nominates these kids? Is it the medical professionals or the families?
I would say most often than not, it's the social worker at the hospital. But a doctor can nominate, a parent, they can nominate themselves if they're 18. But most of the time it's a social worker or a family member.
Okay, perfect. What advice can you give families that are navigating cancer diagnosis and considering a wish from Make a Wish?
I would say definitely know that you're not alone. There's a big community here with your hospital workers, your doctors, your social workers specifically. And then Make-A-Wish is here to help through the entire process. So we have someone in each place throughout the wish journey. So when you're referred to us, we have someone that handles that. And then it goes to the next person who works with the family, to the next person who explains everything, that kind of. So there is a ton of support from us here at Make-A-Wish and usually from the hospital staff as well, and the family. I mean, it's amazing. And I would just say, you know what? You're not alone.
No, absolutely.
We've done this for 45 years? No, 42. Our chapter was the seventh one, founded in 1983. So, our birthday is in April. It's April 29th. It was the day Chris's wish was granted to be a police officer. So we consider that Make-A-Wish birthday. And
Who started Make-A-Wish?
so it was Chris's mother, Linda, who still is involved. She's at our office occasionally. Yeah. And she's still, every time she talks about him, it just, but Linda Pauling. And she had a group of friends that were in the sheriff's department. And then those people got involved and got a hold of other people. So it just kind of spread like that. So when his wish was granted, they gave him his own little uniform. They picked him up in a car, right, a police car. He got to go in a helicopter.
Wow.
Yeah, so they
It
did a
was,
whole day for him. I mean, because
yeah.
unfortunately it was close, to the end for him.
Yeah.
But there's still a statue in Arizona where Make-A-Wish America is of Chris, and he wanted one of the last things he said before he passed was, "Mom, I want my badges. Where's my I want to see my badges." And yeah, that's how it started. And then those people felt so good about it, and the community was so involved in it. Then they started Make-A-Wish with $37.38.
Wow.
That's how it started, and, now it's grown
That's
into what it is
fantastic.
today.
It's so heartwarming, and I've had situations where we've had in other charities that I've volunteered. My daughter was part of NCL, and
Wonderful. We work with
yeah,
NCL. Yeah,
exactly. And the
yeah.
chapter that works with Make a Wish, she was part of that Rancho
Okay.
Irvine
Rancho
chapter.
Irvine.
Exactly.
You know that they've raised after I'm sorry to interrupt, the last fashion show that they did, we had some of the girls come in to present a check, and then we just happened to have a board meeting at the same time. So the board got to see the girls come in. And so I pulled numbers from our system. I said, I wonder how much they've raised since they've been doing this. Over $440,000 that NCL Rancho Irvine chapter has raised for Make-A-Wish Orange County and the Inland Empire.
Yeah, it's their charity of choice. And the year that we were doing our fashion show, it was one of the first years that we suggested for a wish child to participate in the fashion show. And she was in seventh heaven. She felt like
Oh,
a
I bet.
celebrity. And I just think it's fantastic. It gives so much hope, so much it's a wonderful thing to do for a child that's suffering and going through day-to-day tests,
Right?
diagnosis, different things that they have to do. And so it just gives them hope. And I think that's priceless. So,
Well, I'm glad that you did that because we don't do it every year, but we give them the opportunity. Would you like us to, discover a wish kid to walk in the fashion show with you? And last year, Jacob walked in at the one I told you about going to
wow.
Roblox.
Yeah.
He walked in the fashion show, and he's just graduated from college,
Oh my God,
and
good
he was
job.
there to share his story. And he asked me to write him a letter of recommendation to go to law school. And he was just accepted to UCI Law School, and he'll be going there. But yeah, he walked in the fashion show. But the year before, we had a little one. She was just adorable. She was having a good old time,
She's
and
so cute. And I
yeah,
think, because they're there for charity, they're trying to promote charities. And so it just makes sense for one of the kids to be walking the
right.
event. And,
And
because
NCL is a
most,
wonderful organization.
yeah, it's a great organization. I remember countless days of making cookies and stuff, but then at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you may think, they're just making cookies. What is that for? But then the fact that they get to bring it in and they see the Make-A-Wish, house, and to be involved, I think that's priceless for them, and
Oh,
to
yeah,
learn. Because I've always said, doing charity work, it's not an event, it's a lifestyle. And so
absolutely.
they need to learn how to do it, and how to make it part of their being. So,
Well, and if you can instill that while they're
yeah,
young, they're going to carry that throughout their lives and just
yeah,
continue to pass it on and move it forward.
exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, Kathy Perea, I'm saying your last name again, Kathy Peria. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. It has been a pleasure knowing you and now speaking with you. And, we are so at ISCC, we're so fortunate for the relationship we have with Make-A-Wish, and would love to, be a part of your organization for years to come. I
Absolutely.
really
And
appreciate
thank
it.
you so much for what you do. Like you said, we're all branches on a tree and we all work together and we are just couldn't be more grateful for your generous support of our
Thank you.
organization and our kiddos.
Thank you
So
so much.
thank you.
You want to share your website if anybody wants to make a donation directly to Make-A-Wish, um, Orange County Inland Empire. If you
Yes.
like to share that, please.
It is wish.org/OCIE.
Perfect. Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and we hope to see you August 2nd.
Yes, you will. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Bye
Good to
bye.
see you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you all so much for joining us. The Compassionate Corner podcast is produced by the International Society for Children with Cancer. I'm your host, Roya Soleimani Winner. And a special thanks to the incredible ISCC team, our producer, Susan Shahidi, and technical director, Sogol Nikumaram, and our amazing editor, Sharsad Sabit. Music is by artist Sina Sarlak. And now at the close, we want to emphasize that the opinions expressed by the host, that's me, and guests on this podcast are not medical advice. While we strive to provide valuable insights and information, it is important to understand that the views shared here are personal opinions and experiences. We highly recommend consulting with healthcare professionals or qualified experts for personalized advice. Thanks again for spending time with us in the Compassionate Corner. We look forward to seeing you real soon.